Welcome back to my lovely HP community, the 5D Collective. This is particularly for the ones of you who tuned in to the 5D Mystic self-help channeled guidance and stories on being young at heart with the essence of yourself, because I left you hanging with some stories and also because of other areas that I wanted to organize for a minute as we conclude the channeled guidance messages, which were for those of you who are young at heart with the essence of yourself alive, and therefore you're a life partner who loves, lives, and laughs. That means you're your own first life partner. And that is because you can love yourself, you know how to self-regulate, to tune, okay? So you know how to maintain a consistent 5D frequency, which doesn't involve, I mentioned, no crying in our channeled guidance. When I say that, what I'm meaning is the humbug. And so the Zen master who's weighed down by emotions, knowing how to self-attune and self-regulate means that you're emotionally, mentally, and physically resilient. This is why those who don't know how to do it think that we're showing no emotion. They don't know their restorative embodiment yet. So those who don't live with mindfulness practices daily and do not know true spirituality from the essence of the integrated brain to the whole self, to the restorative embodiment self. Okay, so technical terms is that you can go in the flow like the neuroscientists explain, and that's exactly what a Sadhguru is in, what I'm in, what a Dr. Daniel Siegel, and anybody who will be able to share with you how it feels inside to be enveloped by grace, or simply put again, restorative embodiment. So the smart sciences people are the ones who I'm learning from. And in fact, some of the data, remember, pseudoscience lady, so I don't explain it effectively all the time. I'm not trying to. And this is why this is for specifically, again, those who watched. It's about 40 minutes, if not 50. So there's areas where, for example, I was talking about some small studies that have come up that show the individuals with childhood developmental trauma don't do well and or don't need the medicine. So again, I don't remember the specific numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the gist of it. And that is because their brain was not given the opportunity to develop. Is how I'm going to bring it to you. So what the studies are finding is that with long-term good therapy, their will to want to learn to self-regulate, attune, and that their brain is developing, which to me makes sense because your body is a biology. That means your body is nature in the actual cellular nature of it, okay? So once again, doesn't have to be a list giving you the gist of something that you will resonate with and or not, but really if you want information, I got a bunch of sources. You need to go and take courses up, but I have them if you need them or want them. So the other part of those who instead do need medication, that one was less clear from this study, but it is that they are the ones who didn't have the big buttload of childhood developmental trauma, which can involve genes to more. That's why there's all these words. So if you want an explanation in a linear way, I have names for you to go follow, their courses, their, what are they called? Their conferences, all of that. Okay, so those were a couple of areas. And yeah, the crying, so of course we all have all those emotions, but you don't feel again like, oh my God, I'm dying inside. So partners are people who can love, can live, and laugh together, and they accept differences. So they also don't take it personally. They're not moody in a way of thinking that something is done in an effort to get on your case. You know, how, oh, they did it on purpose. They're trying to make me upset. Or, you know what, I don't like them because they don't like the same things I like. And I had to talk about that part too in our other episode about the individuals who do use their data, their academics, and they like to think that they can prove, like, there's never been ever a medium. It's like, okay, yeah, you're only talking to the ones who basically take you seriously like that. Someone like me won't, because I know academia, I know subject matters, I'm a smart human being, and I'm not manipulable because my solo self right here, she's 1 and 3 and 5 and 10 and 44 and knows you don't know everything. So keep talking. The one of you who didn't know of my mediums, I know mediumship because I am a mystic, but I don't need to prove it. And you can call me a whack job. I'm fine with that. I'm going to say, wow, you're really an egotistical, convinced human being. That's an adaptive child part. You have non-bilateral integration, I think. And you really just don't capacitate that 97% of what is out there is unavailable to all scientists. And you're not a true scientist. If you would be, you'd know that, yes, we have some quantitative data. Then there's also other aspects that have loopholes. Doesn't mean you've proven or disproven necessarily, particularly the mediumship thing. Well, that's not really something you can disprove completely. You can find who are charlatan, maybe, but you would also find that there are those who are mediums, if you were open-minded to understand that you're not the mystic. So scientists, people who are true scientists, they are welcoming of all. In fact, they don't ridicule those of us who are channelers. And neuroscientists, as well as quantum physicists, the ones who are smart, they know about this field. The matrix, as Bill Nye says, or Nay, I forget how to pronounce his last name, even if there is this thing, you think you're really going to prove it? So the ones who need a story, remember, those are, show yourself, I'm dying to meet you. Anybody who doesn't embody their humanity. The ones of us who embody our humanity, come on over 5D Collective, because that's where we're at right now. And I was telling you also another story. I won't have time to give that one to you completely, but it was about my scoliosis, and I was trying to bring forth when working with professionals who care about what they do. So I got the honor to be able and have my back looked at and told how am I doing, not doing. And this is the I will walk 1,000 miles just to be a man who can da-da. So when you are committed to your own self, because you love yourself first and you're a healthy other, you're committed to others with the same love, laughter, and life, because you are a person who's a 1-year-old, who's a whole person. You add to my life in the most amazing of ways. We will cherish each other's differences. Professionally, I love all that I get to learn from to support self-help, personal development, mindfulness, living, loving, laughing, and hoping. And no hoping. It's always going to be basic, being yourself. But for the 5D Collective, those who want to embody that frequency and that humanity, and so to love from your nervous system to your brain and have a tickle bone and to consistently want to have more of it. That doesn't mean, again, you don't have a humbug bone. We can all have a humbug bone. Some of us just don't, because those 24 hours, every breath you take, every step you take, I'll be maybe the last one. So why would I in any way, shape, or form not use my thoughts and my emotions with my biochemistry of being able to be a self-aware, accountable, regulating, securely attached, restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, regulating person who basically has mental, emotional resiliency, because I can go in the flow with an open heart while dealing with unknowns, uncertainties, unexpecteds. The foundation will be the same again. Now I have a depth of it. That's all. So there's been added pieces, which empowers how I was sharing it to begin with, but it also makes me know, no, not everybody wants to be their self. There's a fancy man and woman in suit for every person who doesn't. There's an Elsa journey and a narrative for every person who doesn't. There are a bunch of people who just want to keep on longing for each other in what is Cusco town with Pinocchio and do lust, and really the drinking, fucking, shaming, and tragedy like the Zen master. Why? Because they don't believe that they can move it. No, because every time they stub their toe, they turn their back to God and say that it's Lucifer, devils, demons, or they want a war because they're teenagers who need to have superhero capes, because they don't understand the word God and the very essence of those of us of blind faith, or Akash, or dark matter, dark energy, and how small we each are in this one planet that we live on that we know of. I mean, really, again, let's keep it straightforward, shall we? Humble people. We're still trying to get in touch with those who are out there. Is anyone out there? Out there. There's a commercial. So I actually have had contact. I'm not joking. I'm not choking, joking, or kidding. This is my spirituality journey. It's gonna be, so it will also be my last one, I'm pretty sure, because science proves what all of that which my ancestors brought to us. And although I will say I'm not going to look forward to it now, I know that in tomorrow what I'm saying to you right now doesn't matter, and that the simplification of my life is something positive in the future, because we all learn, unlike the lady in the fancy suit and the man who don't want to self-regulate. Yeah, that's what you know if you're an educated person. with healthy adults around you is that sciences doesn't go against life. It's supporting life, and that times change, and that the sun is a star and it doesn't live forever. And I'm the first person who had a very nice debate with someone I dearly love, and I was just trying to say, you don't know what technology or science can do tomorrow. They could, for all we know, be able to allow our sun to continue being a sun. At the same time, the planet is only one planet out of many, and then we have that Milky Way, which is also why there are those who are in the sciences wanting to disprove reality. When the ego wants confirmation of something because it's dying to know into the unknown, because it doesn't like into the unknown, any person of true faith, the feminine here, that's why there's a difference between the feminines and the masculines. We don't need an answer. We have a gut and a feeling. Not that you're in love with me necessarily, but that the truth is our secondary human consciousness is going to consistently seek for more, and you cannot beat life, because life is what leads everything, which is why we can conclude this episode with dark matter, dark energy doesn't disprove the beginning or an end or any of it. The only people who could remotely think of God being beat are the very same people who have fear, and that's their ego, and those are masculines and distorted feminines. Masculines, once they have their feminines, they don't have any type of fear. They have awareness, accountability, regulation, and then they strategically use their presence, like Sadhguru does, to support the expansion of human consciousness and human evolution, because we're humans here on Earth, and there are other species, we'll meet them, but they'll be doing their own secondary whatever consciousness. In the meantime, let's stay grounded. So again, professionals who care about what they do, this scoliosis man, he is very cultured. He's very much caring. He's so smiley and happy about it. And the reason I know that he knows his stuff is because I care about my body, first of all, and I've always listened to when I've been told as a child what to do, what not to do, what I had to do, and I kept on listening. And so as he's looking and evaluating me, he's letting me, Maria, the person who's wondering, I'm getting older, and I've been told that my body could collapse on itself by somebody who is a good specialist but has unresolved trauma that they decide to use, if you will. You heard the story, okay? So I'm closing up that loop. And I can understand that the person was doing it a little bit because of ego, a little bit because they are concerned and stuff like that for how I lead my lifestyle. But meantime, I'm thinking I'm getting older. Is my body going to collapse on itself? So this other good professional, he's using words as he's evaluating my entire physical structure with his expertise. And every time he's noticing it, like when I get a data point that supports me to support you to be yourself, which I then add to our mix, okay? So you'll know when somebody cares, because one, you'll care about yourself when you're going to a professional. And in this case, I'm a content creator, but still there's focused material sometimes, right? So he's talking about my structure, and every step of the way I'm following, and I'm being reassured that my embodied my back won't collapse on itself, and that everything I've been doing is good, and that everybody I've been working with is good. And so I've been doing a good job at doing the bare minimum, by the way, not even the extent, but the bare minimum to stay healthy and to minimize that pain of my physicality so that I can grow old in a most ease of way. And that means I can give more to all. This is why loving yourself first. If I can't take care of me, if I'm on a plane and I don't put that mask on me because I'm busy trying to get a thumbs up or down, because that's what those who lack self-worth do, and that's why their ego distorts shit. Okay, so the ones who expand, it's because we are able to provide, because we already provided. And the very bare minimum, you're 1-year-old, you're 3-year-old, your inner child is all independent. Those people who like self-accountability, regulation, and they're using mindset and mindfulness, those are the ones who will, one, be back, but they're the ones who are navigating the 5D frequency. They embody the jaguar. And so we protect all of life in the Amazon, on Earth, beyond, for those of us, but really at the same time, no, we're not needed, but we can participate with our own capacity. In my case, bringing spirituality, sciences, and human elements, you know this, and as a mystic, the woo-woo lady, Then the sciences people and the technical ones, they bring in theirs, and we keep chucking along. And 3D, 4D has a purpose too, because not everybody wants to be their self. Not everybody wants to choose love. There are those who want to keep choosing the fear and the evil, not evil stories. And so we leave that to them for now. And when the energies come up, well, stuff comes up for them to be able and still choose if they want to love, to live, to laugh. We'll be back with more and to love and live and laugh as their authentic self. Healthy others, healthy adults. We heal trauma seriously. We'll be back again with more. Thanks for stopping by.